Okay, here we have a MIDI setup from this Yamaha keyboard. So this Yamaha keyboard can produce its own sounds, but I've turned it off, or I've turned off the volume. Just using this keyboard to output MIDI data through this cable. And the MIDI data outputs from the keyboard through the cable to the input on this MIDI to CV that I designed and built. And then from there, you have cables connected to the gate out. If you can see the lettering gate. Yeah, the leftmost jacks are the gates, the gate outs. And the rightmost jacks are the ones that are connected, are the pitch out, or the control voltage pitch. And all of those are connected, or the control voltage pitch cables are connected to the voltage controlled oscillators down here in this bank. There's 8 of them. And then the gates, the gate cables are connected to this ADSR bank right here, 8 ADSRs. And then from there, the ADSR outputs, the envelope outputs, are connected up to this VCA bank, which will effectively shut off and turn on the voltage control oscillator outputs. And then the voltage controlled oscillator outputs are connected up, the sound is connected up to the inputs on the VCA. That gets modulated by the ADSRs. And then the outputs of the VCA get plugged into the stereo mixer down here. Or audio mix or whatever. And then the output of that audio mixer goes into this stereo amplifier. And here's the speaker. And right now, the voices, or the voltage controlled oscillator outputs are, well, I'm gonna only demo 3 voices right now. They're connected to the, looks like the ramp. Yeah. Look at the yellow, maroon, and red cables. Well, those are voices 1, 2, and 3. They're connected to the ramp output on the oscillators. We'll only demo those 3 voices. The MIDI to CV is outputting based on polyphonic first. So you press 3 notes on the keyboard. Voices 1, 2, and 3 will turn on. So I've already calibrated as best as I could the actual voltage tracking, voltage octave tracking, and it sounds pretty good right now. So I'll demo how this works. So play 1 note, C, middle C, playing a ramp sound. Staccato scale. And as you can see, voice number 1 is turning on. And you can play 3 at once, which is what I'm doing right now. You can play more. Right now I'm only going to demo 3. The first 3 voices are calibrated well enough to sound good. I had to fiddle around with the the loudness of the VCAs and to make it sound to actually make it sound good. But yeah, essentially, I mean, this is using a modular synth setup. I've created a polyphonic synth. It's obviously, it's kind of a bear to match all the voices together in a modular synth setup, but it's doable. So I'll play a little bit more. As you can see there, I have number 4, voice 4 playing. Voice 4 might not be as well calibrated as voices 1, 2, and 3, unfortunately, but. There's obviously more you can do, or that I could do, in this setup right now. As you can see, there's an entire column dedicated to the trigger output. I have not actually programmed the microcontroller for this MIDI to CV converter to output trigger yet, but that could be useful, especially when playing repetitive notes. And as you can see on these ADSRs that I have, ADSR banks, there's a trigger input, so that is definitely something I can use in the future. There's also a dedicated column for velocity, a velocity control voltage. I haven't really worked out the details on that, but that could, in the future, be used to open and close, the cutoff frequency on a voltage-controlled filter, which obviously is not how this is hooked up right now. Right now, there's no voltage control filters hooked up. There are voltage control filter banks down here that I could use in the future for that setup. And then, of course, there's, this is a pretty basic setup with regard to the sound production. It's just a simple ramp wave, so I don't have any modulation, low frequency oscillators or whatever, so yeah, it's a start. I'm liking it so far, so yeah.